Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. With that, let's get up to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. This is the scene just before we came on air. This New York crowd fired up by the arrival of their G-men as they burst from the locker room. They're ready to go as the Giants get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Gaudin with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
An extremely durable player, had 210 consecutive starts in the NFL before missing one in 2017. And when you have to deal with him in the playoffs and a Super Bowl's on the line, Eli Manning's at the top of his game.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. Takes us up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Now Saquon Barkley, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Here's Manning to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a glance here at the man calling the plays under center, their 6'4" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
Kyle Rudolph had his 2nd Pro Bowl appearance last year when he had 8 touchdowns, just 1 off of his career high. One of the most likable, upbeat players in the league, continues to improve as a blocker, as one of the best pass-catching tight ends in the league. One of the guys that the Vikings like to build around for the future.
Let's go! Green 39! Green
39! And he'll go on the ground. And an alley to run. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Mark Hertzlick in on the stop. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Well, so much for picking it up on the ground on 3rd down. 3rd play of the drive, and this defense showing strong early.
I wonder how much of that was scouting. I wonder how much of that was a gut feeling like, okay, let's just go ahead and sell out here and get after them, thinking they're going to run the football and stuff them early, because they've now set the tone. They've set a precedent right here. If you're going to try and run the ball against us, it could be hard going throughout this game.
12 yards on the return that time, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. The New York Giants offensively, their starters, and one guy out wide to take a look at, Sterling Shepard.
A really mature man in every way coming out of Oklahoma. Personally and professionally. You can play him out wide, play him in the slot. He can return punts for you. He's a dynamic playmaker.
Here's a give to Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Give the tackle there to Daniil Hunter. Partner, your thoughts on this D-line?
I love a unit that can control the run and get after the passer. This is an all-around terrific defensive front. Hard to move the ball against them on the ground, and then when you want to throw it, look out. Here they come after the quarterback.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Manning trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
For the Minnesota Vikings, earlier you and I were breaking down Kirk Cousins' season and the disappointment there, but they go from 13-3 to 8-7-1, and this was a team that many thought off that 13-3 season were Super Bowl contenders. What happened?
I think they struggled with Kirk Cousins meshing in as their new starting quarterback. The offensive line had its share of troubles up front. Couldn't keep Dalvin Cook healthy as their lead runner. But the defense, even though the numbers were good at the end of the year, they struggled throughout as well. They had some games where they gave up some big plays. Remember the Rams game earlier in the season? The Packers game that was a tie, I think the second game of the year. So all in all, they could just never get that consistency and cohesiveness that they had in 2018. But it's a team that's not very far away. They can bounce right back into the playoffs in this upcoming year.
And they'll run it here. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Here we go now.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Going to throw right side here, complete. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And Forbath will put this one through. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Eli Manning and company getting set here as they head back onto the field. He'll look to shake off the interception on the opening drive. He should at least be comforted that it resulted in 3, not 6.
And if I were him, I would be the guy all the way out on the field greeting my defense now, saying thanks a lot. You held them to a field goal after I turned it over. That's a big defensive stand for them. He needs to go out now and make up for what he did on the first drive.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Manning to throw on 2nd down. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That goes for a gain of 31. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
On 1st and 10, here's Manning. He dumps it off to Barkley. A gain of 4 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now Manning again. This is caught and stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. His first catch, good for 14 there and a 1st down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Again, they'll throw with Manning. And he's got his man. Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham from 3 yards out. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. And that was a young pup, the rookie, being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Manning now to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Working from the gun, Manning. And this is going to be incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Now Manning. And it'll be intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any...
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. 1 quarter in the books. 7-3 the score. Back to MetLife Stadium in just a moment.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football, and they've got it here with a 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Well, partner, after the conference championship games, there was a lot of talk about the overtime rules, understandably so. Do you think that anything needs to be changed in the NFL overtime situation?
I don't think so. And you got to remember, I'm an old crone, all right? So here's the deal on it. The NFL jumped into popularity with an overtime game. The Baltimore Colts being the New York Giants. Back in, what was it, 1959, 58, 59?
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. They give him a gain of 38.
Press coverage on the outside, and for defenders, that's the ultimate risk-reward. If you take the risk, can you reward yourself by keeping them on the line of scrimmage? But no, not on that one. Got to step on them. Now it's just a matter of laying the ball out there for him to go get it.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Let's go. 3-19.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Alec Ogletree, infamous linebacker spot. He's able to drop it for a loss of about 10.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle.
All right, here we go. Boom, land it.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series, so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year, That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Dances by him. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up 1st downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Here's Sherrills. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result. Because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move, to influence the defensive front, to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him. Sat there waiting for him and made the play.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot. And on that play, they were able to stop him short of a 1st down.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for New York. Fielded just inside the 20. Fighting through, and he's got space. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the 2nd quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
He probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Barkley, toss play left. A nice little juke. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage. I really liked what he did there.
Now they'll throw it with Madden. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Everson Griffin in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Third and long for the Giants and Eli following the sack. From the gun, it's Manning. Oh, he almost had the rare interception. The big fella couldn't hang on, though. Incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, second and manageable. Keep accumulating first.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. Forbath, the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Eric Kendricks leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now Manning. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play.
And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith, and he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but yeah, let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, is that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Oh, some strong running, and he'll find Thielen on the right side. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not at all.
Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Now back to throw, and that's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that, first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. Incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. It's blocked.
Please tell me this doesn't come off as snarky, but that's a relative chip shot. I mean, you've got to be able to execute that one. I don't care what they design on the other side about trying to block the kick. That should be 3 points on the board.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. If you're out at 55, 60 yards, low trajectory from here, you get that thing up, this should be 3.
Yeah, there's nothing routine in football, but this one really almost should be. Snap, hold, kick, ball through the post. Didn't happen that way.
So now a chance for points in the opposite direction after the blocked field goal. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down, here's Manning. He's going to go for a big play down. He's got him in. Complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Manning now on 1st down. He's going to air one out. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Manning. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. He's now thrown 4 interceptions, and I hate to mention this, but he's a guy that has twice thrown 5 in his career in a single game.
Hard to believe, isn't it? And the tough part is, playing in this NFL, you don't normally just back off totally from throwing the football, do you? So the potential exists for that 5th one to occur.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got to be feeling pretty good. Playing well. Team has the lead, so just looking to mount a drive here that ends in the end zone.
And all quarterbacks will tell you, hey, we love a running game, helps us out. But at the end of the day, they want to rely on their arm. Throw the football, feel good about things, keep things moving in the right direction. Right now, that's exactly what we're seeing.
And we'll see if that continues. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in everyone to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised, just a field goal separating these two teams, as they've already made their way back out of the locker room. So to bring you the story of the second half, let's get you right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. So that one will be accepted.
First down.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And they'll run it here. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, line it.
to throw here. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And we'll see what he can do on the return. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the
pressure up the middle, and down he goes.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now Manning. He's going to let this one go deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big play there. Manning to Shepard. 58 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Into the red zone now. Manning. And Ingram's got it. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram from 13 yards out. And the Giants are in for 6. A post to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use...
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. It's picked up. A live ball here, remember. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Oftentimes when you give up a touchdown, it's really a deflation for your entire unit. And the special teams crew, when they run out there, they still feel it. And maybe they don't go after it so much. Instead, they gave great effort there. Blocked the extra point and really gave them a lift after giving up the score.
Yeah, gave up the touchdown, lost the lead, but a nice job to get in there and block it. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. A nice move gets him a few extra. Down just shy of his 20. Olivier Vernon brings him down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And New York set to take the field. First down, Manning. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Everson Griffin in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They'll run with Barkley. They'll get only a couple down to the 44. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
It's caught. Shepard. And they will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, 44 yards. And the Giants add on to their lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Rosas now to add the PAT. Rosas good with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was finished off by a touchdown by the New York Giants. Rosas now to kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And the blitz does come. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Yeah, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. We get a look at Sterling Shepard as he and the rest of the offense march out into place. Good day for him so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's hit pay dirt once, over 100 yards, but Hey, it's the third quarter. He's thinking, I want more, right?
He wants more, and it just increases the confidence of his team because every play he makes, that means his quarterback is really feeling good about throwing the football. Probably feels like he can't throw an incomplete pass when he throws it to him right now.
Yeah, he's looked really, really sharp.
There's a good push to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something now central casting, frankly.
Absolutely. I mean, size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Manning now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. To throw, it's Manning. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Manning to throw on 2nd down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And the Giants' all-time leader in passing yards and completions and touchdowns, just another connection.
No doubt about it. That's the Eli Manning we know, pushing the ball downfield and with proficiency.
The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Manning to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 35. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, the upcoming Super Bowl, so many storylines, but one that obviously grabs you. Sean McVay just turned 33 January 24th. Youngest coach ever to take a team to the Super Bowl. Double that age for Bill Belichick, who's 66. And, Charles, that's the largest gap between coaches in Super Bowl history.
Yeah, and when you think about it, obviously the age comes into play. But to me, it's more the experience. The number of times that the Patriots have gone to the Super Bowl with Belichick leading them versus Sean McVay's first time in the Super Bowl leading the Rams. Will that game experience come into play at all? But I do like this about Sean McVay. Raised in the game, raised up through the NFL system, no matter how young he might be. Remember, his grandfather was a head coach and a GM in the league. He gets it. He understands. I highly expect the moment to be just fine for him and not too big.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
His throw incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw, and this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. And remember, he had one blocked earlier. And Forbath will put this one through, and that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a one-score game at 20-13. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Eli Manning getting ready to go again on offense. And after trailing at halftime, he's got his guys in the lead, 3 touchdowns. His hot play from the first half, it's continued here in the third quarter.
And that's what you love to see, is that things didn't cool off at the halftime. Didn't have that sense of self-satisfaction. I played a great game so far. I'm good. Continuing to play well. Obviously wants to win.
Yeah, now they've turned a deficit into a lead.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now here in East Rutherford. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Again, it's Barkley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. He finds Beckham complete. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Manning now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From midfield, here's Manning. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there, because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Throwing now is Manning. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Green 39! Green 39!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
contact here. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
They tried to run right to the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for New York. And the Giants ready to come out now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now he'll let it go deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. It was Andrew Sendejo from his strong safety spot able to make the play.
I'm laughing to myself because I could just hear in film session, but Coach, I was throwing to Odell Beckham Jr. Of course I thought he was open.
They'd love to go deep downfield to him, though. Such a threat.
Yeah, a rare incompletion because most of the time we expect him to actually come up with the catch.
They fake the handoff. Now Manning. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Manning. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Riley Dixon now. He's been terrific so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Takes this up just short of the 30, but he was able to avoid that earlier tackle. Nice move.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
All right, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And juke this time. He's got daylight. He's at the 30. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. 71 yards. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll look to throw here. Incomplete. Strong safety Landon Collins, the one who got a hand in there, knocked it away.
All defenders get tired of hearing about their lack of hands and why they're playing defense instead of offense. But in this situation, it was the hands that made the play. Batting the ball away on an attempted touchdown pass. Excellent job. Way to knock it down.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll look to throw. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this fourth quarter. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Well, at least he was able to break that initial contact, or it could have been a loss.
Yeah, give credit to the defensive player, though. What did he do? Made him slow down, slow up his feet, and allowed the rest of the guys to get there to finish him off.
They'll run it again with Barkley. Nifty move. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. It's Everson Griffin who made the tackle.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. To throw on 3rd down. Manning escapes the defender. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Giants have broken our tie as they take the lead.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
Rosas to add the extra point. PAT up and good by Rosas. And they will take a 7-point lead. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Rosas now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Set! Green, 39!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off William Gay. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. That's That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes those experienced DBs, they love going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right into the interception. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Yeah, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. On third down, Barkley. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
A pretty decent gain on the tough run before he's brought down at the 25. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
They'll run again here with Gallman. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Rosas puts this one through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, let a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. They're going to look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Alec victory. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Set to take the field. Getting down to the end here, they have a 2-score lead. Barely, but it's a 2-score lead, so that probably makes you as a coach feel a lot more comfortable right now, doesn't it, Charles?
It does, but it doesn't mean now you go out and run option or some kind of wild double reverse or anything like that. But you do know that if anything does go haywire, you're still in control of this game.
I want a double reverse, don't you?
I'm just waiting for that day where we actually see something like that in this situation.
We'll see what happens here. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Toss. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And the kick by Rosas is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got it.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle here to Rudolph. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete.
And I think we'll probably see them go for it here on 4th down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
Indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And they'll go on the ground. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. And he clocks it with just over 30 seconds left. play action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there at 22. And he'll spike it with 16 seconds remaining. And incomplete here. So that will leave him with 16 on the clock. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off inside the 5. Shedding through the defense. And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Giants are winners as we say so long from MetLife Stadium.